Somewhere in Tauranga, New Zealand, a country with no Igbo people, no Igbo language, no Igbo anything, a girl scored the highest university entrance marks in the entire country in 1955. She went to Oxford. She fell in love with a man from Asaba. And then she did something that no Igbo man, no Igbo woman, no Nigerian university had ever done before her. She wrote the first complete history of the Igbo people. And in this video, you will watch her son stand before an entire Igbo audience and speak their language. The Asaba family of her husband once feared that she would steal their son away, but she raised children who never lost their roots. Her name is Professor Elizabeth Mary Isichei Ni Alo, born 1939 in New Zealand. She was not chasing Africa. Africa found her through love. At Oxford, she met Peter Isichei, a chemical pathologist from Asaba, on the west bank of the river Niger. They married in 1964. His own family in Asaba was vehemently opposed. They feared that if Peter married a white woman, they had completely lost him, that he would become a fulefu, an irresponsible son who abandons his roots. What they would not have imagined was that this white woman from New Zealand would become the person to rescue those roots from historical oblivion. After marriage, instead of settling in the comfort of England, Peter and Elizabeth made an extraordinary choice. They returned to Nigeria. Her son would later describe it as the equivalent of leaving New Zealand today to go back to Afghanistan. That was the kind of counter-current decision they made. It was during the return that Elizabeth Isichei secured a lecturing position at the University of Jos, and it was there that her passion for the Igbo and Nigerian history was fully forged. In 1973, she published The Igbo People and the Europeans, The Genesis of a Relationship in 1906, the first scholarly excavation of how Igbo civilization encountered colonial power. In 1976 came The Moment, A History of the Igbo People, a work that begins in the Stone Age and arrives in the 1970s, covering social, economic, political, religious, and military history of the Igbo people in full. At the time, the Igbo, one of the largest ethnic nationalities in Africa, had almost no documented political history. Scholars had ignored them precisely because their governance was decentralized, not built on kingdoms and courts that European historians recognized. Elizabeth Isichei saw that erasure and refused to allow it to fester. In 1977, she published Igbo Worlds, an anthology of oral history, preserving the voices of ordinary Igbo people for generations not yet born. She went on to serve as general editor of the Jos Oral History and Literature Texts, was appointed Professor of Religious Studies at the University of Otago. In 1992, and on retirement in 2006, was conferred the title of Professor Emeritus. Now here is where the story closes its own loop. Today, whenever her son introduces himself, Igbo people ask, "Are you related to Elizabeth Isichei?" He says yes, and the next thing that hits them is that the most important historian of Igbo civilization is a white woman from New Zealand. But what you are about to see in this video is something even more profound than that. The son of a New Zealand woman and Asaba man standing before an Igbo gathering, speaking the language of his father's people in Proverbs, not because he had to, because he chose to. His mother documented the culture, his father carried the roots, and he, born between two worlds, carried both. That is what the Igbo culture does when it is loved properly. It does not die, it travels, it adapts, and then it returns.
I'm Elizabeth's elder son, but my brother, Ben, is there. Emeka is wearing the nice red shirt. My sister, Chinya, is there. And my wife, Patricia, is there. And my two children, Isichei and Chinedu, are in the back. My mom is quite well known. It's very strange to be better known in another person's country than in your own country. So my mom isn't very well known in New Zealand, but if I say the name Isichei anywhere I am in Nigeria, everybody asks me, are you related to Elizabeth? And many people don't realize she's white. So it's a complication. And I unafugia ukanyao na eba ima ndi banyi na atu na asi na agadi wanyi kalanka gine tie okono sikansuba na atu agadi wanyi kalanka elozie na ju ako we no anya opia obananye obro believe konometata masilo na so obro believe konometata aye kene ono niile nugo dawo so she used to drive, so there are younger people who are here. There are younger people here. My mom used to drive from Enugu to Soka on her own. There are very few people as well that leave during a civil war to go back home. They went home, my mom and dad went home in 1971, 72. Once the Civil War finished. So to give you some context, that's like you planning now to leave New Zealand and go back to Afghanistan or to go back to it doesn't make sense. So I think that it really means a lot to her. It means a lot to all of us today that you guys have supported us like this. Family, we just want to thank you. That was all. I appreciate it.
If you've never heard of Professor Elizabeth Isichei, today changes that. If you have, please share this video because the world still doesn't know enough of what she did. Watch, listen, and ask yourself, who is truly preserving your history while you scroll past it? If you enjoyed watching this short documentary of the contributions of Professor Emeritus Elizabeth Mary Isichei to the preservation of Igbo history, kindly hit the subscribe button. Your curator once again is Prince Onwadenem Ngozi Chukwuka Fortune. I will see you in my subsequent videos. Bye.